God bless you. We're going to talk about Cain and Abel. We'll talk about these two brothers that were Adam and Eve's sons. Abel was a shepherd. He raised sheep. And Cain was a farmer. He would raise crops. Well, now I'm not going to be talking about giving money. That's just something I don't talk about. I don't need to teach that. Everybody else does it. A little bit on the false side, but that's what they do. Anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about living a life for God. And Cain gave an offering to God. And Abel gave an offering to God. And Abel chose from the fat of the animals. He chose the fattest animal, the best he had. And he offered it to God. And God saw this and it pleased him. And Cain got upset. He showed it. Even if he hadn't showed it, God knows your heart. But he showed it in his face. He was walking around with a mad face. You know, you ever see people walking around like that with an angry face, like they want everybody to know how mad they are because they are really, really mad and you better be careful. And God tells Cain, if you would do right, wouldn't you be exalted? If you do wrong, sin knocks at your door. And you would think God talking to Cain would have an effect. You would think that Christ talking to anybody would have an effect. But it didn't have an effect on Herod. Didn't have an effect on Pilate. Didn't have an effect on the high priest or on the Sadducees or Pharisees. They still killed him. Because it depends on the person. What the person wants to do. And instead of this man, Cain, repenting and would consider what God said, that if he would have done right, or if he would do right, he would be exalted. Instead, he gets madder and invites his brother out to the field and kills him. If that ain't showing gratitude, demonic gratitude, demonic appreciation, that's the appreciation Satan has for God, his creator, for his son, for his creation, for him having been created. Instead of having been obedient, he became a disgusting swine, a crooked snake, a cursed serpent because of his disobedience, because he had deceived Eve, Cain and Abel's mom. He told her that she would not die, saying that God was lying to her. Is that what Satan does to you? Do you know how many things God says in his word and people just say that's not true? How people literally just disobey God and really believe that it's not the truth. They ignore it like if God hadn't said anything, or rather that God had said the opposite. Because they listened to a crooked snake, a cursed and condemned dragon, Satan himself, the devil, who had already polluted Cain's mind, because he was the one behind this wickedness. He could care less what he offered God. He didn't offer God the best. The best, I'm talking about Satan, he kept for himself until it was taken away. Just like Cain. Cain just gave something. Is that what you do? You give the leftovers to God? Now, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about you. You know, people go about their day, they get up and rushing around and they got to do this, they got in a hurry. They're such in a hurry. Why don't they just wake up earlier? Busy, busy person, you're so busy. You're so lazy. And then you invent things like, oh, I'm so impressed by you, you're just rushing around. Why didn't you get up earlier? And why didn't you go to bed early? Who are you kidding? Who are you fooling? I got a lot of things to do. Oh, yes, you're so popular and famous and important. Why, you're guiding the whole world. If the whole universe will fall apart if you don't do your job. Because you're just as important as can be. You're just a person without no sense at all. Just like Satan thinking that he's like the brightest thing that ever lived. He knows everything. God is a liar and he's the honest person. He disguises himself as an angel of light because he ain't no angel no more. He's a serpent. He disguises himself as an angel of light. You heard it when Judas, the one that betrayed Christ, said, this perfume should have been sold and the money given to the poor, like if he cares. He just wanted to steal it. Anyways, Cain didn't really care to give God the best. He waited. You know, people wait. I'll do that. I'll find time to do that. I'll find time to do that. You don't read the Word of God. You don't pray. You don't go to church. You don't do anything because you're too busy for yourself, for Satan. And then at the end, you go say, well, I want to read the Bible now. And then you start falling asleep. Because it's just, you're just too tired. Like if God is really impressed, and are you getting mad, Cain? Now, Cain, don't get mad. Because if you were like Abel, God would be pleased. Because Abel gave God the best he had. Abel was not like Cain. Abel respected God and honored God. When he went out there, when he was going to offer something to God, and he looked around, made sure that he got the best one. You know, it's like when people give presents. That's garbage to me, but people do it. And they expect somebody to give them the best. And they get upset because they just got a sweater or some socks. Well, that's what you give. Why don't you want people to give you a brand new car when you gave somebody a set of spoons? That's the attitude of Cain. It's not of Abel. It's not of God. God gave his son, his only begotten son. He didn't send an angel that he created. He sent his son, his only begotten son. He could have created an angel. Here, I'll just create you. Go and die. That's what you do. You're waiting for somebody to give you a lot of money so that you can give something. You're waiting to become 1,000 people, 1,000 persons. If you could only be another person, you would give some more time to God. But when you're dead and in your grave, you won't be worth anything, especially if you're going to a lake of fire. But Abel, he would go out and search. He would look and look and look and say, here, this is the best one that I've seen. And he would offer that to God. When Cain wouldn't do that, and instead of saying, well, I'm going to be like my brother because I saw that God was pleased with this offering. I saw that. No, he doesn't do that. He gets mad. He gets offended. Oh, that Cain got offended. Are you getting offended? That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look at the person that God is pleased with. Why would you want to be like Herod and Pilate? Why would you want to be like Cain? Listen to what happens. So Cain invites his brother out to the field and kills him. And then God asks him, where is Abel? Cain had just killed him. He had just killed him. And God asked him, where's Abel? I don't know, he said. Am I his keeper? No, but you're his murderer. And God said that the ground that had taken his blood, the blood was shouting out. And God curses Cain. And Cain complains that the curse is too hard to support. He just killed his brother. And he's complaining about himself. Instead of having said, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing. No, he's complaining that the punishment is too great. He just killed his brother. He ended his brother's life. He's dead now. And he's complaining that this punishment is too great. And God is going to send him away, and he complains, they're going to kill me over there. That's just hypocritical, ain't it? That's just being a hypocrite. He didn't say, I'm going to give God the best also like Abel. No, he kills him. And then when God tells him that Abel's blood is crying out to him, he doesn't ask for forgiveness. He complains about the punishment that God has put upon him, instead of asking God to forgive him. He's given a chance to live, and he's still complaining. Because all he does is care about himself. Just like Satan. You know what these crazy demons... There was this man in the sepulchres, possessed by a bunch of crazy lunatic demons. And Christ comes to deliver this man, and the man runs to Christ, not because of his power. The demons go over there and they complain about this. They say, have you come to torment us before our time? You know, God says about these demons that they were tormenting this man. Right there it says, this man was being tormented by the demons, and yet these demons are complaining if Christ is going to torment them before their time. If that ain't like... You have people killing other people, you know, or offending people. You know what they say? You know, they did this first. Why don't you just ask for forgiveness right off? Why don't you just say that you did wrong? Why are you adding to your wickedness? The devil ain't going to admit nothing. He's just too proud, that crazy serpent, until he ends in the lake of fire. They'll destroy you. You know, Christ said that the thief, who's Satan, only comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And that's all he wants to do. And then he wants to be spared. Just like Cain. He kills his brother and he wants to be spared. He's not asking for forgiveness. He's not sorry he did it. If there's any sorrow involved, only because now the punishment is on him. Had he not been punished, he would be just fine. It's like when they see people and they kill somebody or did something to somebody or did something, and they're going to be punished, and they make a scene in court. They cry and they beg, and only because they were punished. They were sitting right there, real cool when they were being judged. Real cool, yeah, I'm the greatest. But when they realize that they're going to be sent to jail, then they become all like, they're not regretting what they did. They're regretting that they're going to be sent into a cell. Then they can't get out. We can't be that way. We can't be like the devil. The devil is never going to ask God to forgive him. He's just too proud. He's a crazy snake. Cain and Abel. Brothers. Different brothers. From the same mom, the same dad. One of them served God, the other one served the devil. God says that Cain was of the wicked one. That he belonged to the wicked one. And that's pretty bad. We're supposed to belong to God, not to Satan. We were made in the image and the likeness of God. Adam and Eve were made in the image and likeness of God. They were made to be like God. And they were like God until Satan came and deceived Eve. And here you have the results. Cain. You can't be that way. You start out like Eve and Adam, and you end up with children like Cain. They're careless about anybody. He kills his brother. If you've done wrong, ask God to forgive you. Don't add to it. I am 100% sure that God would have forgiven Cain and would have not done anything if Cain would have asked for forgiveness. Adam and Eve did not ask for forgiveness. They started blaming each other. Once Satan gets you, you're his. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't know how to ask for forgiveness. He doesn't know how to do good. And if he does, he knows what God does and what God is. He's not going to be that. Cain wasn't going to be like Abel. He was going to be like himself. And himself is being like Satan. And that's the way people are. This is the way people are all the time. You would see this when Christ was, wherever he was, he would heal people. You would think that everybody was standing in line. And you would have people murmuring and criticizing him because he had healed somebody on the Sabbath day. I'm sure that person that was complaining must have had some sick relative, a wife, a child, an aunt, an uncle. You don't care for no one no more. Yeah, they're sick, and so what? We can't be that way. Cain was told, if you do right, will you not be exalted? After he didn't offer to God what Abel had offered, and instead of saying, I understand, I will offer you the best from now on. No. He goes and kills his brother. It went in through one ear and came out the other. God didn't send his son that we may continue in this kind of life. We got to be like Abel. We have to be like Abel. They say, well, Abel died. I'd rather be like Abel and die serving God than live serving the devil and then end up with him in the lake of fire. I'd have to be mighty ignorant mighty foolish, mighty demonic to want to be a part of this crazy snake. I was a part of him one time. He has tormented me because I don't want to be a part of him anymore. He torments me. But one day he will be tormented. My days, my years are not, I'm not going to be tormented forever. My days and my years are not forever like his in the lake of fire. I will be at peace with the Almighty God one day forever, for all eternity, while he is being tormented. I'll be patient. If God allows him to torment me, I'll be patient. I'm not going to be tormented forever. There's an ending. One day this body will die and the devil will not be able to torment it anymore. But his body will be tormented for all eternity by worms and by the fire. You know that Satan will no longer be as whatever he is right now. He's not an angel. He's a snake. He's a dragon. He's a serpent. He's a devil. He's Satan. But one day he'll be just like a man. God says he will change him to a man so he can know how it feels. All those people that he has perverted, and because of him they'll be condemned. They will suffer. And he will feel the same thing they're feeling as a human being, as a man. While all those that serve God will be like angels, he will be like a man. He will swap around. She'll be like a man, and men will be like angels, only those that serve God. The rest that serve the devil will be like him, gnashing his teeth and wailing, crying, and that's all that will be heard. There ain't going to be no conversations there. No conversations of how I'm the greatest. There won't be no more of that. It's my life. I do what I want. You won't do anything there except that. You'll be just grinding your teeth and crying. Now, I'm talking about crying. You're going to be shouting with pain. But there's no need for that. You know, there's these two brothers. God has given you a choice. Because it's your will, you know. It was Cain's will to be that. To be wicked and evil like Satan. It was Abel's will to be like God. You choose. You want to be cursed? Be like Cain. You want to be blessed? Be like Abel. Well, I recommend that you be like Abel, because Cain is not going to have it good at the end. And I hope that you understand. God gives us the choice. It is your choice. And I hope you choose God. I hope you choose to be like God. May God bless you.